What's up YouTube? Let's talk cardio because it seems like there are people on both sides of the spectrum. You have to do cardio to get lean, or cardio kills all your gains. Let's look at it a little bit more logically though, because when it comes to body composition, cardio is simply a tool to send you into or further into a calorie deficit. You don't need cardio to get lean. You just need to make sure that you're burning more calories than you're consuming. If cardio helps you do that, awesome. If it's your preference to not incorporate cardio, even better. Obviously, there are more benefits to cardio than simple body composition. But if you're just wanting to look better, it isn't essential. However, when it comes to actually getting it done, we want to think about two things. What's the best way to do our cardio? When's the best time to do our cardio? What do you reckon? So first thing, what's the best type of cardio? At the end of the day, it really comes down to personal preference. We've got high intensity interval training, which is obviously very efficient, very convenient as far as the time it takes you to do, and obviously allows you to burn a larger amount of calories in a shorter space of time. However, it obviously requires more energy to get through. It's far more demanding on the body. Whereas if we look at more moderate or lower intensity steady state cardio, it doesn't require as much energy, it doesn't take as much out of us, but at the same time it's more sustainable, it is easier to do. It just means you have to do it for a little bit longer to burn the same amount of calories that you might be able to get through in a shorter HIIT session. Fuck, doing cardio while I'm doing this is way hard. When it comes down to it, the most important thing is how many calories are you burning during that session. From there, obviously you can keep both of them the same, i.e. you can burn the same amount of calories in a HIIT session as you can a low or moderate intensity steady state session. From there, simply take your pick, choose the one that you prefer. If you've been dieting for a long period of time and maybe looking at getting into a show, chances are as you get into the latter stages of that prep, you might find it more and more difficult to throw enough energy at a decent HIIT session, in which case lower or moderate intensity cardio might be a little bit better for you. So when is the best time to do cardio? Again, it's really going to depend on what you prefer to do, but ideally I would suggest doing cardio on a day that you aren't training, if possible. If, however, you do have to get cardio and resistance training in on the same day, you definitely want to do your best to prioritize your weight training. Simply because when you are dieting, and I'm going to assume you are dieting if you're doing this cardio, because who does cardio when they're bulking, right? If you're dieting and you're doing cardio, you want to focus on maintaining as much muscle mass as possible, which means you want to be training on the weights floor when you have the most amount of energy and the best possible opportunity to ensure that volume is consistently increasing over time. If you're hitting cardio before your resistance training, chances are you're sapping into your energy stores and you might not be able to give as much as you possibly could had you hit your resistance training first. Ideally, space those two sessions apart from one another so you can get some food into you between the two sessions. It's not all that important to make sure you get carbs in post-training, particularly high GI carbs, but if you are wanting to train again later in the day, at least this way you'll have an opportunity to refuel and potentially get as much as possible out of that second session, whatever it ultimately ends up being. If, however, you simply can't avoid having to do your resistance training and cardio in the same session, again, prioritize your resistance training and then maybe think about finishing off your workout with either some BCAAs as a minimum, or ideally some protein and even some simple carbs, just so that you aren't going into your cardio session essentially depleted and having fasted for a couple of hours. There's no right or wrong when it comes to cardio. You simply need to make sure that you're incorporating it into your routine in a way that is sustainable and in a way that doesn't make you want to hate your life to the point where you can't do it anymore. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of cardio. I don't enjoy doing this. In fact, filming this video, like I am sweating bullets right now. All I've been doing is cycling fairly easily for like 10 minutes. I'm ruined. However, it's a fantastic tool to help with manipulating body composition. So if you get to a point where you simply can't stomach the thought of eating less calories, if you excuse that horrific pun, then think about adding some more cardio in, because increasing your calorie burn throughout the week means you might be able to get away and continue to lose fat without eating less. That means more burgers, more shreds, winning. Got any questions about cardio, losing weight, any of that jazz? Pop it down below and I'll get back to you. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat if you guys want to see a little bit more about how I eat and how I manipulate my own body composition using my training, nutrition, and at times, cardio.